What happens when a military operation pushes technology, scale, and devastation to its limits? What happens when hundreds of drones and dozens of missiles fill the night sky in one of the largest assaults we've seen in this conflict? Tonight, we're breaking down Russia's biggest attack yet on Ukraine, an operation that involved a staggering 600 drones and dozens of missile strikes in a coordinated wave designed to overwhelm defenses, cripple infrastructure, and send a chilling message to the world. This is not just another update on the war. It's a breakdown of how this attack looked from the outside, what it felt like on the inside, how it performed, what safety measures were in place, the unique elements that make it stand out, what it cost in more ways than one, and ultimately, what it means moving forward. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into one of the most significant escalations in Russia's ongoing war in Ukraine. This strike is unlike most that came before it, not just because of the size, but because of how it was orchestrated. To really understand the impact, let's start with what you could see on the exterior. From the outside, the operation was immense. Picture swarms of drones taking off in waves, small yet deadly, filling the night skies across multiple directions. At the same time, missiles of varying ranges were fired from land, sea, and air, creating a layered assault designed to keep Ukrainian defenses guessing. The exterior impression was chaos in motion, but a kind of calculated chaos meant to confuse radar, overwhelm anti-air systems, and strike targets almost simultaneously. To anyone watching from the ground, the visuals were terrifying, dozens of fiery trails cutting across the horizon, drones buzzing low over neighborhoods, and sudden bursts of explosions lighting up the darkness. The scale alone set this attack apart. It wasn't just about hitting targets. It was about projecting power, demonstrating reach, and forcing Ukraine to expend valuable resources just to survive the night. Moving inside, we shift from what was visible in the skies to what it felt like for people experiencing it firsthand. For civilians sheltering in cities like Kyiv, Odessa, and Kharkiv, the interior of homes and bunkers became both sanctuary and prison. Short bursts of power outages, the shaking of walls from nearby impacts, and the constant blaring of air raid sirens created an atmosphere of suffocating fear. Families huddled in basements, scrolling through phones to see which regions were hit, while emergency responders prepared for the worst. The interior perspective wasn't about firepower, it was about survival. And in those moments, every passing minute under attack felt like an hour, every thud of an explosion echoed in people's hearts, and every child's question about when it would stop had no easy answer. It's this human side, the lived experience on the inside, that makes any military operation more than just statistics and numbers. Now, if we talk about performance, this is where the analysis gets technical. From Russia's perspective, launching 600 drones alongside several dozen missiles was an attempt to test, probe, and overwhelm Ukraine's layered air defense system. The performance of the drones was strategic. They were cheaper, smaller, and harder to detect in large swarms. Some were meant as decoys to force Ukraine's anti-aircraft batteries to fire, while others carried explosives meant for infrastructure like power plants, communication lines, and military bases. The missiles, on the other hand, were the heavy hitters, faster, deadlier, and designed to penetrate hardened defenses. On the Ukrainian side, performance was also measured by resilience. Their Western-supplied systems, including Patriots, NASAMS, and German IRIS-T units, were activated in a coordinated defense. Reports indicate a majority of incoming threats were intercepted, but not all. The performance of both offense and defense turned the skies into a battlefield of technology where speed, precision, and endurance defined success or failure. This wasn't just a military maneuver, it was a stress test of modern warfare systems under extreme pressure. When it comes to safety features, the comparison feels almost ironic, but they exist in this context. Ukraine's safety measures were the combination of siren networks, hardened shelters, early warning systems, and quick response air defense teams. These safety features, like the structural integrity of subway stations used as bomb shelters, or the efficiency of mobile alerts warning civilians, played a critical role in reducing casualties. The fact that so many residents knew exactly where to go and what to do shows how ingrained these features have become after nearly 3 years of conflict. On the Russian side, safety features are less about protecting people and more about protecting equipment. Launch platforms were hidden, drones were made with simple materials to reduce radar visibility, and missile trajectories were planned to avoid known defense zones until the last possible moment. Both sides considered safety, but in very different ways, one to protect lives, the other to protect the success of the strike. What makes this attack unique are its selling points, if we frame it in that review-style language. First, the sheer volume, 600 drones, is unprecedented. It's not just about numbers, it's about the logistics of coordinating so many unmanned systems in unison with missile strikes. That level of synchronization sends a strong signal about Russia's capabilities and their willingness to escalate. Second, the multi-layered nature of the assault is a key selling point. By combining slow drones, fast drones, cruise missiles, and ballistic missiles, Russia created a puzzle too complex to solve completely in real time. Third, the psychological factor stands out. This wasn't only about damaging infrastructure, it was about shaking morale, both inside Ukraine and across international audiences. Every explosion broadcast across social media amplified the sense of vulnerability and fear. And finally, the attack showcased the global nature of modern warfare, where drones sourced with parts from multiple countries, missiles designed decades ago, and air defenses built by NATO allies all collided in one night of chaos. Talking about price, we have to consider cost in multiple dimensions. Financially, each drone and missile comes with a price tag. Drones are relatively cheap, sometimes costing only a few $1,000s each, while advanced cruise or ballistic missiles can cost millions apiece. Launching hundreds of drones and dozens of missiles in a single night translates to tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars spent by Russia. On Ukraine's side, the price is equally heavy. Every interceptor missile they fire to take down a drone or missile costs tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars. This creates an asymmetry where cheap drones can drain expensive defenses quickly. But the price isn't just about money, it's about human cost, lives lost, families displaced, cities damaged, and futures interrupted. There's also the political price. Russia risks further isolation, harsher sanctions, and even more determined Western support for Ukraine. Ukraine, while gaining sympathy and aid, also pays the price of living through endless nights of terror, rebuilding cities again and again, and seeing its economy strained to the breaking point. As we move to the conclusion, the bigger picture becomes clear. This attack wasn't just about immediate destruction. It was a demonstration, a test, and a warning. For Russia, it showcased their ability to launch large-scale, coordinated assaults that stretch defenses thin and keep the world watching. For Ukraine, it revealed both vulnerability and resilience, the ability to withstand, intercept, and respond under incredible pressure. For the world, it was a reminder that this war is not static. It is evolving, becoming more complex, and potentially more dangerous with each escalation. The conclusion isn't simply that Russia launched its biggest attack yet, but that modern warfare is shifting toward mass use of unmanned systems, hybrid strategies, and psychological warfare as much as physical destruction. So, when we step back and review this massive strike like a product, we see an exterior that was intimidating, an interior that was terrifying, performance that tested the limits of both sides, safety features that saved lives, unique selling points that made it stand out, a price that was devastating, and a conclusion that leaves us with more questions than answers. Will future attacks be even bigger? Can Ukraine's defenses keep up? And how much longer can the world watch before the balance shifts again? One thing is certain. This conflict is writing a new chapter in the history of modern war, and the pages are filled with drones, missiles, and the unyielding will of people caught in between.